Imagine a future where the moon is no longer a symbol of hope, but a silent battleground. As nations compete for every square inch, a grim truth emerges. China is not just exploring, it is claiming. But what truly drives this relentless race? And what secrets are being buried beneath the lunar dust? For millennia, the moon has been the muse of poets and the beacon of navigators. Today, it has become the new stage for a veiled geopolitical dispute, where the ambitions of a superpower clash with the indifference of the cosmos. China is not merely exploring the moon. It is, in fact, laying the groundwork for a permanent presence, a colony that could redefine the balance of power on Earth and beyond. This is not merely a scientific advancement, but a strategic move, a silent race for territory and resources that few fully comprehend. Prepare to delve into the depths of this audacious undertaking, where science intertwines with politics and human survival in a brutal environment is merely a pretext for cosmic domination. We will uncover the hidden motives, the shadowy technologies, and the disturbing implications of a China that has already begun building its lunar empire, far from the eyes of the world. To understand the true scope of Chinese ambition, we need to go back to 2019, when the Chang'e 4 mission made history by landing on the far side of the moon. This was not just a technical feat, it was a statement on board a biological experiment. The lunar micro-ecosystem carried cotton seeds, potatoes, fruit fly eggs, and yeast. The idea was to test the viability of a self-sustaining life cycle beyond Earth. And for a brief and hopeful moment, life flourished. Cotton seeds sprouted. A small green leaf blossomed on the lunar surface. It was a glimpse of a future where humanity could bring life to other worlds. However, the moon is a ruthless master. Within days, the extreme temperatures, cosmic radiation, and brutal vacuum took their toll. That tiny sprout, a symbol of hope, froze and died. This was not a failure, but a brutal lesson. China learned that life as we know it is fragile, and that lunar conquest would require a much more calculating and ruthless approach. Survival on the moon would not be about planting gardens, but about building fortresses. The lesson of the cotton sprout on the moon was a watershed moment. It solidified the Chinese strategy. Machines first, then humans. This is a three-phase plan, and China is currently halfway through Phase 1, reconnaissance. Phase 2, heavy construction, is where science fiction becomes a frightening reality. The big question is how to build infrastructure in a world without accessible terrestrial resources. Launching everything from Earth is unfeasible due to the astronomical costs. China, with its long-term vision, has chosen the most difficult, yet most intelligent and sinister path, utilizing what is already there. This philosophy, known as in situ resource utilization, ISRU, is key to survival and expansion. The future Chang'e 8 mission, scheduled for 2028, is not just another landing. It is a test of revolutionary technology. Autonomous robots will sweep up lunar regolith, the dusty abrasive soil of the moon, and transform it into bricks. Imagine silent, tireless machines collecting lunar dust, compacting it into molds, and baking these blocks in high-temperature ovens. These lunar bricks will then be stacked by masonry robots, forming rectangular structures, cubes, and arches, sealed with a special mortar. The purpose of these thick blocks of lunar rock is twofold and vital: to block lethal cosmic radiation and to insulate the interior from extreme temperature variations. However, a crucial engineering problem arises: pressure. Without an atmosphere, the interior of any lunar base needs to be pressurized so that humans can breathe without spacesuits. Square or rectangular structures, made of bricks, are inherently weak when it comes to containing pressure. Gas tanks and submarines are always round or cylindrical because corners create weak points that explode under stress. The Chinese solution is ingenious and somewhat grim, using these bricks as an outer protective shell, a shield against the brutal environment, while the actual pressurized, rounded habitat would be protected inside. It's a strategy that reflects the harsh reality of survival in an alien world, where form follows function in the most brutal of ways. But Chinese ingenuity isn't limited to lunar bricks. They have a second ace up their sleeve, something bordering on science fiction that promises to revolutionize space construction: planetary-scale 3D printing. What if, instead of stacking bricks, we could simply print the entire base? China is developing the concept of the moonpot vessel. Here, human labor is almost eliminated. A giant autonomous 3D printer would use lunar soil, regolith, mixed with a special adhesive. Unfortunately, this adhesive still needs to be transported from Earth, one of the few remaining links of dependence. The process is meticulous and frighteningly efficient. First, the machine would create a solid slab of lunar concrete to absorb the vibrations of moonquakes. Yes, the moon has its own earthquakes. Next, the printer nozzle would rotate in circles, building the walls layer by layer. The design mimics nature, specifically the structure of an eggshell. 3 distinct layers, a robust outer shell, an inner shell, and a triangular ribbed structure in the middle to provide strength and stability. This architecture allows the structure to contain internal air pressure without the need for additional lining, optimizing resource use and minimizing complexity. Furthermore, 3D printing allows for building upwards. On the moon, gravity is only 1/6 that of Earth, making vertical construction much more feasible. There is no wind to topple tall structures, and the ease of movement allows for designs that would be impossible on Earth. Whether through giant printed pots or stacked bricks, China is paving the way for a permanent human presence. However, all this infrastructure, no matter how advanced, is useless without energy. And China's solution for keeping the lights on is, at the very least, controversial and geopolitically charged. Solar panels are great. But remember, night on the moon lasts 14 Earth days. Current batteries can't last 2 weeks without charging, powering an entire city. The solution? Nuclear energy. In 2025, the governments of China and Russia announced a strategic partnership to build a nuclear power plant on the moon, and this makes perfect geopolitical and technical sense. Russia, through its Rosatom agency, is a world leader in nuclear technology. They export reactors worldwide and have even built floating nuclear power plants in the Arctic. Although the Russian space program suffered a recent setback, with the Lunar 25 probe colliding and exploding on the lunar surface in 2023, when it comes to atoms, they know what they're doing. And the moon, ironically, is the perfect place for a nuclear power plant. First, cooling the reactor is simple. Just place it in the shadow of a crater where it's always cold. Second, nuclear waste, a major problem on Earth, is irrelevant there. The moon is already bombarded by lethal cosmic radiation 24 hours a day. A little more radioactive material won't worsen an environment that is already inherently toxic to life. With infinite energy guaranteed by Russian nuclear reactors and Chinese robotic construction capabilities, the plan enters its most ambitious and unsettling phase, going underground. The lunar surface is a constant battleground against radiation, meteorites, and brutal thermal fluctuations. But underground is a refuge, a natural sanctuary that the moon, ironically, offers. We know that the moon is full of lava tubes, gigantic tunnels formed by volcanic activity billions of years ago. Some are so vast they could house entire cities. These natural caves offer instant protection against external threats, and most crucially, the temperature inside is stable, a stark contrast to the hellish, freezing surface. The Chang'e 7 mission, scheduled for 2026, will carry ground-penetrating radar specifically to hunt for these caves at the lunar South Pole. If they find the right location, the first human city on the moon may not be the utopian glass dome we imagine in movies, but rather a dark, isolated, and self-sufficient, high-tech underground complex. The Chinese timeline is aggressive and relentless. Actual construction of the base begins in the 2030s, with the resource-rich and ice-rich South Pole as the primary target. The strategy is clear. First, a fully robotic facility. No one will be there to carry bricks. When the first Chinese astronauts arrive around the early 2030s, the home will already be ready, with power, air, and protection waiting for them. They don't want to repeat the flag and home style of the Apollo program. They are going to stay. China plans 5 major landings between 2031 and 2035, each delivering a piece of this monumental puzzle: command centers, laboratories, mining operations, and astronomical observatories. Make no mistake, China is not alone in this race, but its approach is uniquely pragmatic and ruthless. The United States has its own plans with the Artemis program, but the question is no longer if we will live on the moon, But who will set the rules of this new world? Will it be an international colony, a bastion of humanity, or a sovereign territory? An extension of terrestrial geopolitics into the cosmos? The vision of a subterranean civilization on the moon, protected from cosmic elements, but also isolated and potentially hidden, raises profound questions about the future of humanity and the nature of our expansion to the stars. It is a dark but inevitable future, where survival dictates the rules and ambition knows no bounds. And you? Would you live in an underground city on the moon, or would you prefer the safety here on Earth? Leave your opinion in the comments below. Your perspective is crucial for understanding the implications of this new frontier. If this video opened your mind to the complexities and dangers of the future, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next analyses. Share this video with those who, like us, dare to look at the stars and question what is really happening out there. There's much more to come about this new space race, and you won't want to miss out until the next video. Keep looking at the stars, but with a more critical and investigative eye.